Pawn Stars is a reality television show that offers viewers a glimpse into the high-stakes world of pawnbroking, centered around the gold and silver pawn shop in Las Vegas. The show follows Rick Harrison, the seasoned owner of the shop, along with his father Richard "Old Man" Harrison, and later joined by Corey "Big Hoss" Harrison, as they evaluate and negotiate purchases of unique and valuable items brought in by customers. Each episode presents a new challenge, with visitors offering everything from rare collectibles to vintage vehicles, and the team must determine whether each item is worth buying, and at what price. Rick Harrison, the driving force behind the business, is known for his sharp instincts and no-nonsense approach to deals. With decades of experience under his belt, he has developed an uncanny ability to assess the true value of an item while navigating negotiations with both collectors and casual sellers. His son Corey plays a key role in managing day-to-day operations, often stepping in to research historical details or authenticate items before finalizing a deal. Meanwhile, Old Man Harrison provides wisdom and wit, often serving as the voice of reason when deals become complicated. Together, this trio forms the backbone of the Pawn Stars operation, ensuring that every transaction reflects their expertise and business acumen. The show's appeal lies not only in its entertaining personalities, but also in the unpredictability of each customer visit. Whether it's a priceless antique or a seemingly worthless trinket, the process of evaluating and acquiring these items keeps audiences engaged. Every deal tells a story, revealing the history behind the object and the motivations of those selling it. This dynamic environment sets the stage for countless memorable moments, including the unexpected challenges that sometimes arise after a purchase is made. On this particular day at the gold and silver pawn shop, a visitor walked through the doors carrying an unusual proposition, offering a rugged off-road vehicle for sale. The man explained that it was a custom-built machine, designed for extreme terrain and equipped with reinforced suspension, oversized tires, and a powerful engine. He claimed it had been used for off-road adventures across some of the most challenging landscapes, making it a collector's dream. Intrigued by the potential value of such a vehicle, Rick Harrison stepped forward to inspect it more closely. Rick quickly recognized the appeal of the truck. Its modifications were extensive, suggesting that it had been built with serious off-road performance in mind. After examining the frame, engine, and various mechanical components, he determined that the vehicle was in relatively good condition despite its heavy use. However, he remained cautious, knowing that appearances could be deceiving. The seller, eager to close the deal, emphasized its durability and versatility, painting a picture of endless adventure on rough trails and desert terrain. Despite the enthusiasm, Rick remained focused on the numbers, carefully weighing whether the asking price was justified. After a brief negotiation, Rick settled on a figure, $7,000. It was a significant sum for a used vehicle, but he believed that if properly marketed, it could fetch a higher price from the right buyer. As always, his decision was based on a combination of instinct, experience, and calculated risk. The deal was struck, and the truck officially became part of the Pawn Stars inventory, ready to be displayed in the parking lot alongside other intriguing finds. Little did Rick know, however, that the real test was yet to come. With the newly acquired off-road vehicle now parked outside the gold and silver pawn shop, curiosity naturally led to the question, who would be the first to take it for a spin? Naturally, Chum Lee, the ever-enthusiastic employee known for his hands-on approach, eagerly volunteered. Having spent years working alongside Rick Harrison and witnessing countless transactions, Chum had developed a deep appreciation for the unique items that passed through the shop. Testing out the latest acquisition seemed like an exciting way to get a first-hand feel for its capabilities. Without hesitation, Chum climbed into the driver's seat, adjusting the mirrors and familiarizing himself with the controls. At first, everything seemed fine. The engine roared to life, the wheels turned smoothly, and the suspension absorbed the bumps of the paved lot without issue. Encouraged by the initial response, Chum decided to push the vehicle further, maneuvering it onto the uneven terrain near the back of the property. What started as a simple test drive quickly escalated into something more adventurous. As he attempted to navigate a particularly rocky section, the truck suddenly lurched forward, hitting an unseen obstacle with a jarring impact. The sound of crunching metal filled the air as the undercarriage scraped against the ground. Alarmed, Chum immediately cut the engine and stepped out to assess the damage. To his dismay, the front bumper was dented, and there was visible scraping along the frame. Worse still, a small oil leak had begun to form beneath the vehicle. Rick, who had been watching from a distance, quickly approached, concern etched across his face. He knew the truck had cost him $7,000, an investment that could easily turn into a financial loss if repairs were needed. As he examined the damage, his expression hardened. This wasn't just a minor scratch. It was clear that the vehicle had sustained considerable harm. Though Chum tried to downplay the situation, apologizing profusely, Rick couldn't ignore the reality of what had just happened. The once pristine off-road vehicle was now far from market-ready, and the responsibility for the mishap rested squarely on Chum's shoulders. Rick Harrison wasted no time in addressing the situation head-on. Standing beside the damaged off-road vehicle, he exhaled sharply, clearly frustrated. The $7,000 investment had barely been secured before an accident put its resale value in jeopardy. As the owner of the gold and silver pawn shop, Rick understood that mistakes happened, but accountability was non-negotiable. Without hesitation, he turned to Chum Lee, his tone firm but measured. "You took it off-road, knowing what kind of shape it was in," Rick said, shaking his head. "Now we got damage that's going to cost us money." Chum, visibly embarrassed, nodded in agreement. "I didn't mean for it to happen," he admitted, rubbing the back of his neck. "I thought I was being careful, but that rock came out of nowhere." His attempt at justification did little to ease the tension, and he knew better than to argue further. Instead, he accepted full responsibility, understanding that the consequences of his actions extended beyond a simple apology. Rick sighed, already calculating the potential costs of repairs. "This thing was supposed to make us money," he muttered, running a hand over the dented bumper. "Now we got to fix it before we can even think about selling it." He looked at Chum pointedly. "That means you're covering the repair expenses." Chum swallowed hard, but nodded again, recognizing that this was the only fair outcome. Though disappointed, Rick appreciated Chum's willingness to own up to his mistake. Still, the incident served as a reminder that even the most experienced employees could make costly errors. As the conversation ended, Rick made one thing clear: lessons had been learned, and moving forward, reckless test drives would not be tolerated. Despite the setback, Rick Harrison quickly shifted his focus toward mitigating the damage and turning the situation into a learning opportunity. He knew that in the world of pawnbroking, unexpected obstacles were inevitable, and how one responded to them often determined success or failure. Rather than dwelling on the accident, Rick took a pragmatic approach, assessing the extent of the damage and determining the best course of action to restore the vehicle's value. He contacted a trusted mechanic, scheduling repairs to address the dents, scratches, and minor mechanical issues caused by the mishap. While the process would take time and additional investment, Rick remained confident that the truck could still be sold at a profit once restored. Beyond the financial implications, Rick saw the incident as a teachable moment, not just for Chum Lee, but for everyone working at the shop. In an environment where employees regularly handled valuable and delicate items, caution and responsibility were paramount. Rick made sure to reinforce this message, reminding his team that while enthusiasm was encouraged, recklessness was not. Chum, humbled by the experience, took the lesson to heart, vowing to be more cautious in the future. The event, though unfortunate, ultimately strengthened the team's awareness of the importance of diligence and accountability in their daily work. In the days following the accident, the off-road vehicle was taken to a trusted local mechanic, where repairs began in earnest. The dented bumper was replaced, the scratched frame was repainted, and the minor oil leak was addressed to ensure the engine remained in optimal condition. Rick kept a close eye on the progress, frequently checking in with the shop to confirm that the restoration met his standards. Although the repairs required an additional investment, Rick remained optimistic that the truck could still generate a profit once returned to market-ready condition.